Your brain is actively conspiring against your success. It doesn't care about your career, your grades, or your legacy. It cares about one thing: keeping you safe, comfortable, and sedated. Most people think they have a discipline problem. They don't. Neuroscience suggests you have a chemical addiction to mediocrity. And right now, your neural pathways are wired to choose the easiest, most pathetic option available. I'm going to show you exactly how to break that wiring in the next 10 minutes. But first, I need you to admit the ebbing lie to yourself about why you're tired. If you don't fix this neural architecture, your intelligence is irrelevant. You will consistently make decisions that sabotage your future for 5 seconds of cheap relief. It's not a habit. It's a physiological trap. Your brain evolved in a scarcity environment. It was designed to seek rewards like food, shelter, and information because those things kept you alive. But modern technology hijacks the survival mechanism. Apps are engineered with variable reward schedules. The same psychology used in slot machines to flood your receptors with unearned dopamine. When you flood the brain, it tries to find balance by downregulating your receptors. Essentially, you become numb. You raise your baseline for stimulation so high that normal work feels physically painful. You sit down to work, but before you type a single word, you pick up your phone. You scroll TikTok for 20 minutes just to get ready. You aren't getting ready. You are numbing yourself. You induce a state of anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure from low-stimulation activities. You literally cannot feel motivation for tasks that don't offer an instant, flashing, high-definition reward. Do a hard reset every morning. Absolutely no screens, music, or high-stimulation inputs for the first 60 minutes after waking. Let your dopamine baseline reset before you spike it. But fixing your morning is useless if you don't fix the physics of your environment. Your brain is an energy-conserving machine. Behavioral psychology dictates that humans will always choose the action requiring the least amount of caloric energy. This is known as the law of least effort. It doesn't matter how much willpower you think you have. If your bad habits are easier to access than your good habits, your biology will force you to choose the bad ones. Imagine you were trying to focus on a difficult report, but your phone is face up on the desk next to you. It buzzes every 4 minutes. It takes half a second to check it. It takes 5 minutes to get back into the flow of writing. Your brain burns critical glucose simply resisting the urge to check the phone. This is called cognitive load. By leaving the distraction visible, you are draining your battery without doing any actual work. Use the 20-second rule. Increase the time it takes to access a distraction by just 20 seconds. Put the phone in another room. Put the remote in a drawer. Make the bad habit expensive in terms of energy. Once you remove the distraction, you're going to face something much scarier: the silence, the gray zone. We have lost the ability to be bored, and that is a catastrophe for your brain. Deep focus, synthesis, and creativity only happen when the brain is deprived of external input. This activates the default mode network. But you are terrified of your own thoughts, so you fill every single gap in your day with noise to avoid self-reflection. Look at what you do in the in-between moments. You pull out your phone the exact second you step into an elevator. You listen to a podcast while brushing your teeth. You scroll Twitter while waiting in line for coffee. You train your brain to be reactive rather than active. You kill your attention span, and worse, you kill your ability to solve complex problems because you never give your brain the quiet space it needs to connect the dots. Practice deliberate boredom. Sit in a chair for 10 minutes a day with no phone, no music, and no book. Just stare at a wall. Let it be uncomfortable. Now that you can handle silence, stop trying to perform a biological impossibility. You think you are multitasking. You aren't. Multitasking is a biological myth. You are simply task switching rapidly between two things, and every time you switch, you pay a cognitive tax. Professor Sophie Leroy calls this attention residue. Part of your brain stays stuck on the previous task, leaving you with less processing power for the new one. You are writing an email, you see a Slack notification, you check it. You go back to the email. You stare at the screen for 30 seconds trying to remember what sins you were just typing. Studies show it takes an average of 23 minutes to regain deep focus after a significant interruption. Your functional IQ drops by up to 10 points while multitasking. You are busy, yes, but you are producing work that is shallow, derivative, and error-prone. Use time blocking. Dedicate 90 minutes to one single task. Physically block all other inputs during that window. Phone off. Door closed. No tabs. You're focused now, but your to-do list is paralyzing you. Decision fatigue. Your willpower is a finite resource. It acts like a battery that depletes with every decision you make, no matter how small. Psychologists call this ego depletion. By the time you get to the important work of the day, your decision muscle is already exhausted from trivialities. You spend 20 minutes in the morning deciding what to wear, then 15 minutes scrolling apps to decide what to eat for breakfast. Then you stare at your to-do list, overwhelmed, trying to pick where to start. When your decision tank is empty, you become passive. You default to the easiest, lowest value tasks like checking email or organizing files because your brain is too tired to handle complexity. Automate the trivial. Wear the same rotation of clothes. Eat the same breakfast. And crucially, plan your day the night before. Don't wake up and think, what should I do? Wake up and execute. You've planned the day, but you're leaving mental tabs open in the background. Open loops. In the 1920s, psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik discovered a quirk of the human mind. The brain remembers unfinished tasks better than finished ones. This creates a state of low-level cognitive tension. These open loops run in the background of your operating system, draining your mental RAM. You're trying to relax in the evening, but you keep thinking about that one email you forgot to send, or the errand you didn't run, or the conversation you didn't finish. You never truly rest. Your cortisol levels stay elevated. This means you start the next day already depleted, anxious, and foggy. Perform a brain dump before bed. Write down every single unfinished task, idea, or worry on a piece of paper. This signals to your brain that the information is captured and safe. Close the loop externally so your brain can let go internally. There's one final trap that disguises itself as high standards, but is actually fear. Fear of failure. Procrastination is rarely about laziness. It is almost always an emotional regulation problem. You aren't avoiding the work because it's hard. You are avoiding the feelings that the work brings up: self-doubt, insecurity, and fear of judgment. Perfectionism is just procrastination in a fancy suit. You want to start a business, so you research how to start a business for 6 months. You design logos. You pick fonts. You watch tutorials, but you never actually sell a single product. You become a procrasti-learner. You feel productive because you are preparing, but you are actually stagnating. This leads to a deep, simmering resentment of yourself because you know you aren't moving forward. Embrace B- work. Give yourself permission to do a mediocre job just to get the momentum started. You can't optimize a blank page. Here is the uncomfortable truth about why you haven't changed yet: the self-image. You cannot consistently act in a way that contradicts how you view yourself. This is the principle of cognitive consistency. If you see yourself as a lazy person trying to be productive, you will eventually revert to laziness. Your subconscious will sabotage you to align your actions with your identity. Consider two people refusing a donut. Person A says, "I can't eat that, I'm on a diet." Person B says, "I don't eat that, I'm an athlete." Person A is using willpower, which fades. Person B is using identity, which persists. If you don't shift your identity, you are fighting a war against your own psychology. You will always snap back to your baseline. Stop saying, "I am trying to focus." Start saying, "I am a disciplined person." And then prove it to yourself with one small action. Every time you choose work over scrolling, you cast a vote for that new identity. To rewire your brain, you must stop treating focus like a magical gift that some people are born with. It is not magic. It is biology. You lower the stimulation. You increase the friction for bad habits. You endure the boredom. and you protect your decision-making energy. It is not about adding more effort. It is about removing the interference. Most of you will watch this video, feel a spark of motivation, and then immediately click on the next suggested video to get another hit of dopamine. You'll look for the next hack. Don't do it. That is the addiction talking. Close this tab. Put your phone in the other room. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Prove to yourself that you are in control of the machine, not the other way around. Do it now.